Hello, everybody, and welcome to this very special interview with the mother of a patient of mine. Her name is Marta, and her daughter is Anna. And this was a very this was a very interesting and quite moving case for me to treat, to be honest. So Marta, just can you tell us a bit about your daughter? What was she like before you started homeopathic treatment?
So Anna struggled a lot with school avoidance, mainly with separation anxiety. We had quite a lot of anger issues from her. And so that would be throughout the years until the time where the past 3 years would just become worse, gradually worse and worse. Where she started developing symptoms like OCD, not sleeping at night, not sleeping on her own. So we've been we've been struggled quite a lot. It got to the point where we were not able to leave the house. She would refuse to put her clothes on. She would refuse to eat as well. Or she would accuse us of, trying to poison her, or all this sort of start creating all this sort of fantasies and being scared of things that were not really real.
Right. Can I just ask you, did she get a sort of conventional diagnosis?
Not at that time.
Hmm.
So because at first we were just focusing about, social kind of anxiety, the school avoidance. We thought it was all normal. However, it wasn't if you were talking to other parents. Uh, but I think we were so used to it that we've done nothing. We would go to the doctors, say, oh, she's having a panic attacks for no reason, and what can we do about it? She's got tummy aches. She's got all sorts of things going on that she wouldn't leave the house. She wouldn't use her hands, and they would just. I mean, we would just be told that, oh, she's just anxious, it's just anxiety. So the doctors would never tell us to actually go and get proper diagnosis until until the point where it was really bad. And then that's basically the moment when I started looking for help in other way, like other homeopathy, etc., herbal remedies, because we would not get any help from the doctors. There was no direction.
Was she was it recognized as some kind of autistic syndrome, like something on the spectrum, maybe, or with the OCD and that kind of thing? Was it or pandas, one of those sort of neurodivergent?
Yes. So basically, after things started escalating with her behavior and she stopped eating, we really started ringing all the possible bells. Started talking to school, get early help, um, and that's when we started finding out about paths, like what should we do? How can we have her diagnose? Can is she autistic, etc. So we started asking these questions, uh, and so we eventually we got the diagnosis official of she was officially diagnosed, but that was kind of after the treatments we received. But we, as generally, we have to describe the worst case scenario, what would happen. So yes, she received the diagnosis.
And how did this? I mean, obviously, it's like a 24-hour thing. How did this affect the family? I mean, you and your husband.
Oh, the family was falling apart. I mean, we kind of got used to it, so we would just, kind of acting like robots, really. I would say, just trying to manage a day at a time. There was no sort of the relationship was kind of broken because everything, we would do everything around Megan. But for example, we as a couple, as a marriage, it just was non-existent as well. Because there was always someone has to sleep with Megan, um, and manage her needs constantly, help her take shower, do this and that, and it just
What were
it
the
really.
what were the extremes of the O? Because it seemed like the OCD was just off the scale. So what other things would that how would that take shape?
So OCD. First of all, there was like irrational fears of um, going to another dimension, fear of dying, fear of um, getting in a loop. So they didn't make any sense. Um, Also, the compulsions would involve washing mouth with a shower head, and someone always had to help her with that. Not going to sleep. The routines always had to be the same. Um, the clothes had to be washed. Like, let's say, if she even put something on for 5 minutes, it just she wouldn't use it again. It had to be washed. So the fear of contamination uh, was there. Uh, I kind of, it's easy to forget because we're in such a good place now.
I remember when we first started talking about it, it was so extreme, and I really felt for you and your husband having, to face this every day. Like it was all day long, wasn't it? It was not a
It
sort
was all day long. It was all day long questions. It's like, is this safe? Can I touch this? Can I touch that? Uh,
of
all day long, question after question. Uh, we'd also like, uh, Anna refused to eat normal food that was cooked at home as well. So we would have to get takeaways. And normally, you speak to parents and you're like, no, how, just say no. That was impossible because she started losing weight significantly. Started lying to us that she stopped eating at school, her lunch, for example, because she just didn't want to use her hands. Her hands, as she described, were haunted.
yes.
Uh, so that was a very, yeah, very extreme and hard to understand as well, because the only thing you want to do is get angry and like, what are you talking about? Right?
Yes.
But
Definitely. Did you try, so before you discovered homeopathy, did you try anything else? Any other alternative therapies or any other therapies or
no. So we've not tried anything before, uh, because it was kind of, I mean, her panic attacks. We would just try to talk to her. We went to the doctors. We would ask for help, but we didn't know which direction to go.
yeah.
And we were both very busy as well with our lives, trying to carry on, handle jobs, etc. And I think we didn't know where to look for help. So the moments where it was kind of things were going a bit smoother and things were calmer, we would think like, oh, it ended. We're gonna be all right now. But then, you always hit with double force until the moment where it got really, really bad and we just couldn't manage at all. And you could see that it wasn't normal. It wasn't something that people would say that it's gonna go away as they grow. Um, so that was the moment when I started looking, and that was the moment when I came across homeopathy. And of course, uh, there were people saying, "Oh, it doesn't work," etc. There were people saying, "Yes, it works," but I have to say, without not having anything else or anyone else to turn to, uh, I said, let's just give it a try.
Yeah, you were desperate.
The complete desperation. Yes.
And so what was your first impressions of, the first consultation, the process, um, and the questions and what was your first impression about that?
So the first impression was like, what a strange set of questions.
You're not the only person. Yes,
But however, it got me really interested in how things work. So for my own sake, I think, and for better to make sure that we that I'm giving you the right information, I started reading about and started educating myself about homeopathy. So that's how I knew. I mean, but you explained very, very well, like, why you're asking these questions. Uh, but it's just the understanding of how remedy works. It was good to read about it.
yes,
So I knew what to capture as well in terms of Anna's behaviors and her moods and her thoughts and her dreams and all these little
yeah.
details.
The details, exactly. That may
So
not even conventional doctors might not even be interested in. It's often those little sort of quirky details that we're sort of particularly interested in. And so obviously, I started treating, and what was do you remember the sort of first changes or the first remedies and what you noticed?
yeah, so one of the first remedies I remember very well because you did warn us about aggravation of symptoms, and we got that experience, which was it was really bad, but we were very patient, and we waited for it to go away. I think it took 2 days or 3 days for Anna to calm down and to kind of we saw that shift. This very first remedy, I think it gave us the shift was significant, I can say. Um, and then as we went along, sometimes the remedies took longer to work. Sometimes we not necessarily we didn't have this, aggravations as you of the symptoms, and it was easier to manage. But slowly, gradually, uh, the moment you have your diary, like how bad it was, and then you start writing down every day what are the improvements, it was just amazing. And then having these consultations with you, the monthly checkups, and how's she doing now, what's happening, because I wasn't very good in keeping the diary uh,
Hmm.
as well. But you would always have that checklist. It's like, oh, is this still
Yeah,
happening? Is this still
yeah.
happening? And then, very tired mind, I was like, oh yeah, no, it's not. Like this compulsion went away. Like this,
What were the
she's
early
eating.
changes? Remember what the actual, do you remember what sort of things changed that you gave you sort of hope or made you realize
She
that something?
she started eating. She started leaving the house. We were able to go outside without any problems and without any rituals.
Yes,
We actually left the house, which sometimes would take us 3 hours, or sometimes it was impossible for us to leave at all. And I remember we started in end of summer. September was a beautiful September, and the weather was just amazing. It was just, you really wanted to be outside, but it wasn't the case for us. We were just stuck at home. So being on the move again, uh, and yeah, eating habits definitely
right.
change, and then the anxiety started going down, and then there's still questions, they should still ask questions like, is this safe, is that safe to do? But they gradually started disappearing. uh the more reassurance we gave her, it kind of worked. uh where before, I think, because reading about OCD as well, it was important to understand that you just have to say no, and then that just, although the kid would get angry, etc., you just have to stick to it and not help them with their compulsions. But that wasn't the case anymore. I could actually explain it, and she would be like, okay. So the understanding
Yes,
of
yes.
things in her head started changing. So
And
what?
it means that the connection between you and her was starting to, because I suppose before then, there was little connection because she was so in her own world that you couldn't get in there and connect with her.
Yes, it was like losing someone, you know? That's how it felt when all this started. It was like exactly as you're saying, like there's no connection anymore. I don't understand my child. She doesn't understand me. It's just all one big block of fear and anxiety and anger where everything started shifting. And I think because it's not just the remedies, but the remedies, but that's how I understand. They help this process. They help this cure this nervous system, etc. But then it's very important for the family to actually be together, be on the same page, and enable that change to happen, and then rework the sort of patterns that somehow the brain kind of developed, the connections, the behaviors, the patterns, how we work. It actually and those remedies enable the change, which we had to then kind
Well,
of.
she was like, you were obviously very caring family, so she was lucky she had you guys to sort of help her. I remember there were sort of ups and downs along the way, and especially although the fears, I remember the fears decreasing, and she seemed much more, and yeah, as you said, she was able to eat, etc. And then there was stuff about the school, wasn't there? And school friends. There was a big thing, feeling sort of like left out, and a lot of sensitivity about friendships and being in the group or being out of the group.
Oh yes, yes. So it was a lot of that. Yeah, not belonging. Everyone is against me. Uh, and now, how can I say? She all of a sudden developed this resistance to it, like this self-confidence. It's like I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. It doesn't matter what's happening. It's normal that we sometimes have fights with friends. It's
Yeah.
okay. Uh, it's not the I don't care, but it's the kind of different, like more mature approach
Before she
towards it.
collapsed into kind of really grief and self maybe hating, and now she's able to just rationalize things better.
Yes, yes, that's a good word. Yes, she would completely crash after any misunderstandings, not even the big fights, but let's say her friend would say, "Oh, actually, I don't want to play. I don't want to play with it today. I just want to go home." And that would completely crush her, and she would be kind of sulking and depressed for 3 days,
Yeah.
sometimes. So yes, she's definitely got out of this kind of feeling.
And what was the how did you and the family respond to these changes? I mean, what was your and what was there a particular moment when you thought, oh, wow, she's really coming back to us?
You know what? I don't know. I was taking uh, every day at the time, and we were very happy from any little change. From, but I think the best moment was when she started sleeping on her own in her room
Yeah.
and said to me, "Mom, I got this." And that just, I think, if for my husband as well, but we were shocked. We couldn't sleep the whole
What
night.
did she say? She said, "I've got this."
Yes, I got this. I got this. I'm going to sleep on my own. And yeah, that was the first night um where we couldn't sleep because it was just yeah, weird. I kept thinking about her. I'm like, oh, is she gonna come any minute? Um,
She was sleeping with you every night, wasn't she?
every night, yes.
And for people out there, this whole process, the treatment was over about, was it a year or was it slightly less than a year? I can't remember.
It
Nine
was
months.
slightly less than a year. I think it
Yeah.
was yeah, I think it was around 9 months.
Yes.
Um,
Not actually. I mean, given the extremeness of her, it wasn't sort of like yeah, it was quite quick, really, I suppose. And it was improving all
yes.
the time along those 9 months.
Yes, exactly. Improving. It was constant improvement, and then we would focus every month. We would focus on something else, on or something that we didn't look at the beginning. So the worst symptoms, and yeah, we worked the way down until she kind of started functioning normal. There's no more compulsions. There's no OCD. Kind of that went away.
Amazing. What would you say, to another parent who's perhaps a bit feeling hopeless or skeptical right now? What's your sort of, would you have a message for them?
Goodness me, just do it. Just believe it. Try. Why not? If you can help your child, it's like I think it's really important to try everything. Um, because changes life. It
Yeah,
does. I mean, not
not
you
just for
as your
her, but for
family,
the
but
whole family as well.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You can get your life back as well, and your child's life.
And what gives you joy now when you watch her now?
Gosh, everything. Absolutely everything from brushing her teeth on her own to, drawing, being confident, growing that confidence more and more. I'm able to leave the house, to leave her in the house for, if I need to take a dog out and she doesn't want to go, she can stay. She's perfectly fine. She started cooking as well, which is
Oh,
just
wonderful. She can look after you now.
yes. I did say I don't like to cook, so hopefully she's gonna be the chef.
Oh wow. I am so thankful that you came on here to talk about this because I think it's so important. Because I think when people hear your experience, it just makes it more real, and then there is hope. And not we're not saying. I mean, obviously, every child is different. We're not saying it's an automatic. Every child is going to be perhaps as this was, but it's definitely worth doing.
Definitely. Um, why not? I mean, if there's anyone else kind of saying that, there's no cure, etc. I mean, I'm not gonna say we still have work to do. We still need to, you know, we still need to work on things, but goodness me, it's just so much easier.
Yeah.
So much easier now.
I remember you sent me a message saying we are in heaven now.
Yes. Every day is a heaven.
It does. That's great. Well, listen, look, thank you so much, Marta, for coming on here, and I look forward to receiving updates and hearing how Anna does in the future. And yes, so thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye bye.